Peyton Manning was criticized for drinking a Bud Light. I thought that this had died. I thought that this was no big deal. But what the H? You included that in there. So he's drinking a Bud Light at the College World Series. And so if you drink a Bud Light now, you're supposed to be what, woke, I guess? Is that what it is? Can
Yes.
somebody, is good gravy. Caleb, why was this a deal and why did this become a thing on social media? Let's be honest, they all have exclusive beer sponsorships. It might have been Bud Light and that's it. I don't know. But Peyton Manning, woke. Peyton Manning, I'm not even sure what woke means, but if it's something progressive, then I would think that Peyton Manning is the furthest from being woke of anybody in the world because he is old school. For right or wrong, he's not trying to make a statement by drinking a Bud Light. Whatever that statement would be, I'm totally ignorant, Caleb. Please help me on the matter.
So this, if you check out Message Board Genius's Twitter, which is where I found this, they show what different message boards are saying at different times. And there was a picture of Peyton Manning drinking a Bud Light at Saturday's game. And somebody commented, "What a woke POS." And then you saw a bunch of people on Twitter going, "It's true, Peyton Manning's drinking a Bud Light." So this all...
Can I take a timeout? What does woke mean?
Okay, nobody can define it. Okay, here's the original. I'm going to give the friendly. I'm going to be there. There's two types of woke if we're going to talk, because this word is getting so overused in the world now. It's just driving me insane. Woke initially started as it was an innocent word, a phrase to mean like awareness to social injustice, which on a broad sense, I think we're all okay with something like that. You know what I mean?
It sounds like a positive coming out of the box, doesn't it?
Yes. Now, what it turned into was kind of, there was a group that would be in this crew called woke that maybe were a little too authoritarian. Actually, very too. The ones that are saying, "You're not referring to me by my proper pronoun, so you're a bigot." That type of woke, you know what I mean? Or that took it way too far. That, you know what I mean? That was like, you're not using the proper words for this.
You made me laugh on the message board. Go ahead. Sorry.
So there's the woke, which is still awareness of social injustice, but then it kind of devolved because of a lot of people that were policing every word you say and try to cancel you if you said anything wrong, and just went way too far with it. And that's what woke kind of devolved into. So now there's become a backlash to woke based on those people. Now, this all kind of came to a head with Bud Light. They put a... I'm not going to get the pronoun right. I don't want to say, but they put somebody who I believe is either non-binary or trans in one of their commercials.
Okay. No, it was on the side of a can. I do know that much.
Yeah, on the side of a can. So people got upset and decided they didn't want to drink Bud Light anymore because that was kind of annoying to them. Fine. That's totally fine. You don't want to drink Bud Light because you don't like that? I got no issue with that. Okay. But now it's gone from what they criticized about wokeism. They're doing the same thing with anti-wokeism because, okay, you don't want to drink Bud Light, fine, but are you really going to cancel Peyton Manning because he doesn't want to drink Bud Light? Or because he wants to drink Bud Light?
And listen, I've been a big beer drinker, and it used to, I thought it was funny when people would argue between Miller Lite and Bud Light. Because, there's not a monstrous difference.
It's like Verizon and AT&T.
Yeah, and so but is anybody turning down a beer? I guarantee it was handed to him, too, a free beer. He's not going up to the beer stand and standing in line at a Tennessee athletics event at the College World Series where he could get recognized by 15,000 people. The whole thing was goofy to me. The fact that it got traction, and listen, let's be honest. I don't know what Peyton Manning thinks about being woke or not, But there are a lot of other things that we could say about Peyton Manning that would be more critical. One, he can be a bit of a bully. If media says something about him that he doesn't like, he'll never go on your show again. That's the case with a lot of people. Dan Patrick is one. He can be vindictive. He can. You guys may not know this about Peyton Manning. He can be overly orchestrated to the point that he's very manipulative. So there are a lot of things we could say about Peyton Manning, and those adjectives I just gave about Peyton Manning could be viewed as good or bad. And in some cases, they've helped him to the career that he has, and I got no problem with it. But I don't I mean, to call him woke is again, I'm not even 100% sure what it means,
Well,
but there are a lot of other things you could say about Peyton Manning that would be more accurate and that he probably would dislike more than woke.
Yeah, and I guess where I'm at with it is if you're annoyed by the authoritarian wing of wokeness, I'm with you. There's some people like we shouldn't be canceling people because they may say the wrong phrase, they may use the wrong pronoun, and they don't even know what they're saying is offensive half the time. We shouldn't be canceling people for that. But what I would caution people is don't be the same thing from the other side. Don't all of a sudden be authoritarian as an anti-wokester, which is to say that I'm going to cancel this person because they're doing something that I deem woke. That's just as stupid.
It just doesn't. I mean, this will dissipate eventually with the Bud Light thing, and it just to me is just beyond my realm of comprehension. So I mean, I guess some people could say that I was woke or not woke or something for having a T-shirt that says hooker on it. I don't know what that means for me. SC Scout Guy, great point. I wonder if the shirt Peyton was wearing was made by a sweatshop by children. If it was Nike, it probably was.
Of course it was. Of course it was. This is the hypocrisy of people who take stances on anything. Is like, I mean, LeBron James sitting up there saying I'm all about social justice, but I have Nikes being made in sweatshops in China. Live golfers on the other side saying, "Oh, we stand for free speech," and you're out here taking money from Saudi Arabia, and
yeah. And then what did the PGA Tour do? Took that cash.
Yeah, took that cash. The PGA Tour shaming people for golfing with the Live Tour and then selling themselves to the Live Tour. I mean, it's just like Clay Travis having a radio show saying I'm a free.
Travis says Anheuser-Busch is down 27 billion at this point. No, Tom, you're right. We're not talking politics. We're done.
Yes, we were referring to a Peyton Manning attack, and that's relevant because we cover Tennessee.
All right. LeBron, Mr. Jones, I don't know how this possibly relates, but LeBron claims he reads books always.
Oh, no. So LeBron takes all these he takes all these pictures of himself reading a book, and it's always the first page. It's like it's like, bro, you're not reading that book. And like it's always like he's on like an elliptical. There was one where he's on a bicycle and he's like riding and he's reading, and it's like, bro, you're not reading. You're not reading when you're riding on a bicycle. Come on. I can't do that. I know you can't.
I can't tell you how many times I almost blew my ACL when I was trying to look at the Bonnaroo map to get around. and it's uneven. The ground is uneven. There was seriously a couple times I thought I'm going to have to text Caleb and tell him I blew my ACL because I stepped in a hole while I was looking at the Bonnaroo map, and that he's going to have to probably fill in for me a couple of times.